What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? Yes, you're on already. You're on already. I just dropped shit. Anyway, hi. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, it's been a minute. It has been a minute. Almost feels like it's been a minute since we've been here. Last week we had a lot of fun on the Paraverse podcast. Had a great time chatting with our brother Victor Santiago from the Don Vic Show. It was just a blast. Victor's always a lot of fun. Tonight, though, guys, we actually have something that I think has been long overdue. Let me just move. Let me move real quick. There we go. Because she's right here. It's going to be awkward for me. So if I go to talk to her, I'm going to be looking over to nothing, but she's right next to me. So you know what I mean. Anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about cryptids and urban legends, and of course, I would be castrated if I didn't bring the lovely Wicked Queen, my wife. Yeah. You want to say hi or no?
Why would you say I would castrate you? That's not very nice.
If I did a show about cryptids without you, which, by the way, she has a show called Creepy Cult, which they talk about cryptids and cryptozoology, and I don't know what else you talk about. But if I did a show without you, you would hurt me.
Ding ding, round one. Let's go.
See?
You're right.
See? And of course, tonight, I just found out not too long ago that my brother right below me here, Big Rob from the patrol, he's getting very interested in cryptids. So we're going to talk with him about some of his favorites and a couple of urban legends. And I have to give this guy shit because I love him to death. Nando, my brother from Portal to the Paranormal, and don't you run. Keep your ass back here. But he was supposed to be on the Creepy Cult, what, 3 weeks in a row? 3 shows in a row? I don't know.
I don't think it was that many, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because it was before vacation, and then you planned it during vacation, or she had a show during vacation, and then last week.
It just shows how bad I am at planning things, doesn't it?
As long as you set an alarm clock, you're fine.
Oh, and then he goes about the alarm clock as well. Okay, he got me. Okay, you got me. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's a couple weeks worth of bullshit. So you know what? It's all good, Nando. I love you, brother. You know I do. I get nothing but love and respect for you. But Nando actually said he had to do some research on cryptids, which was kind of interesting because a lot of people know quite a bit about it, or at least they think they do. And where did my wife go? What are you doing?
I'm moving things.
Okay. But I just look over in the screen and she's gone. I'm like, did I miss something?
I'm going to go.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Well, we have a portal, so let's see. There's the portal. There's the portal. Ah, he bit me. But Nando actually wanted to do some research. He actually did bite me on some cryptids. So I want to talk to him about that. So first of all, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. And I hope, Nando, you had a good holiday, from what I understand.
Yeah, it was great. It was lovely. So
a lot of amazing pictures, a lot of great videos. And I'll tell you, I had to ask this first. Where did Rocco learn to dance?
I don't know, because I got no rhythm. Do you know what? It's got to be Sarah, because I've got no rhythm. If I try and dance, you'll see me topple over. But he got some moves, that boy, and the amount of times he was up on the stage doing his what do they call it? Is it twerking with the? I'm not going to try and do twerking. It, but yeah, he had some moves going on. So yeah, it was good.
He did very well. I think we were all cheering for him too. Like, and we knew it wasn't alive, but I'm like, yeah, get it, Rocco, go, yeah.
Do you know what? The best part of the holiday was seeing the kids, being kids and enjoying themselves, not worrying about anything with schools and things like that. But yeah, it was great, and it was great to spend it with my folks as well. Seeing my mum having a good time with Sarah, that was great. So
it was, honestly, brother, I was jealous, but I'm very happy for you and your family that you had a really wonderful holiday, and you were in Spain, right?
Yeah, well, we're in an island called Tenerife. So it's part of the Spanish border, I believe, but it's
Canary
nearer
Islands.
to the Canary Islands, but nearer to Africa. If I'm right, it's nearer to Africa than.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was really hot, and it was fun because we left we come back on the 10th, and then a week later they had a load of bushfires and everything break out. So
Did you leave the
so
stove on or something at the hotel? Is that what happened?
we didn't do no cooking. It was all inclusive, mate. I just laid there and chilled for the 2 weeks that I was there.
Oh,
Literally sat there with my pair of Speedos on. I'm only joking. I'm
hey, I saw
joking.
pictures. Sarah sent pictures. Those you'll see that on merch later, folks.
I know Rob took some pictures, but no, it was a great holiday. But it's good to be back to see everyone, catch up with you guys, and because a lot happens in 2 weeks when you're away, doesn't it? A lot.
Yeah, it definitely does. Well, I'll tell you what, brother. I'm definitely personally glad to have you back. It's glad to be on camera with you again, just to hang out, have some fun, and just bullshit. So we're glad to
Just
have
have
you
a
back.
laugh.
Glad to have you back. All right, folks. So let's get in and say, as we always do to the audience, because Rob, Nando, you guys know the audience makes the show. Let's be honest. Our guests do an amazing job, but the audience, they're the bread and butter of this. So we got Ron from RRLC Paranormal, our family from up north. Teresa came back. Welcome back, Teresa.
Hello.
Cheryl showed up again from Tasmania.
Hi, Cheryl.
Pleasure having you here. Bud Files, what's up? How you doing tonight, guys? Uh-oh. The Fedorable one is here, folks. Mr. Fedora, Scott Morton, from Warren Area Society of Paranormal, and LOA Productions, but that's what he goes by on YouTube. We got AZ Pie. I'm wondering if that's Wendy. I'm assuming it's Wendy. Welcome. Cheryl saying hello to all of us. Spoke about him earlier. Weird. No.
Leave me alone.
She just vanishes.
She's just doing her own thing.
Before I say this,
You were just about to say something that could get into trouble then, Matt, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. So let me just say it's her desk, not mine, but she's under the desk.
I'm trying to get this freaking thing to screw in and it won't now.
Not me.
We've all seen that Police Academy movie where he's giving the speech. If Matt starts smiling in a minute, we know what's happening.
So glad she didn't hear that, Rob. And he said, "You're doing a great job. You're fine."
I kind of heard what he said.
He's got his NC-17 warning on there, so we're all good.
Yeah, we're already set.
We're all good. We're all good.
Actually, I love Police Academy, by the way. I have all the movies.
It's a great. Which one's the best one, though? Out of 1 to 7, which one's the best one?
Number one, hands down.
I think it's the one. Is it when they go to? Is it Hawaii? They go to? Like they go on the vacation.
Yeah,
I thought that was a pretty cool one. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was 4.
That's
Russia was
yeah.
pretty good. Russia was pretty good. Second one was good. It was good, but it wasn't quite as good as the first. The first will always be my favorite. Always.
Don't move, dirtbag.
Oh, that's a good film.
We got Victor Santiago from the Don Vic Show, the Don of the Paranormal, joining us tonight. And, of course, his brother, IG. What up, IG? Also co-host of the Don Vic Show. Cheryl's laughing. And Rob.
Don't judge me.
Rob's everywhere.
Rob's everywhere.
There she is.
Oh.
Why did you freeze? I don't know. Anyway. Well, guys.
Mackenzie,
hear it.
What?
Well, we're not going to describe to you. Just like,
I'm not. No.
No?
No.
I didn't feel a thing.
Oh my!
I love you.
Do you know I'm so
You're
glad to be
right
back
here.
on holiday and seeing you guys. This is what I've missed it. It's a laugh, isn't it?
You're right. You're right here.
I am.
They're
Then you're right there.
They're countries away. I can't kick their ass, but I can kick yours.
Well, to be
Ding
fair,
ding, round 2.
to be fair, Nando and Rob both said that they would be willing to take a holiday over here to visit us.
But I'll forget about it by then.
I'll remind you.
Hi. Love you, Mackenzie.
We got
I'm just gonna stay quiet. I'm not saying nothing. So
hey Jenny, welcome. Yeah, things are going good. While I'm still not bleeding. Give it time.
No.
No, because I will be involved in it. We will have our own match, especially if. So I'm going to say she's going to knock my ass out at celebrity boxing. She would. That's not how you hit him. Let me show you. Just clocks me. I'm just standing there.
Celebrities? Is that what they're saying?
No, he was asking if we were coming to celebrity boxing. Boxing with celebrities? I don't know.
Well, I know there's such a thing, but
Yeah, most
I don't know.
YouTubers do it, don't they?
I think so.
yeah, I think so.
do you remember the one that they used to do on MTV? The seven it was like made out of clay.
Didn't
Yes, celebrity
Yeah,
death match.
Do you remember that? And they
I
brought out
loved
all
it.
their bits and everything.
I
We should try
loved it.
replicate that with you and Mackenzie and see who would like do a virtual one. See if you can do it. Build you and Mackenzie and see who wins that, and then stream it live.
Here it comes. I have an idea.
Uh oh.
I think that would be great.
Paranormal boxing.
No.
Oh mate, you're bit. Do you know what? Team up like a match between people that you know you don't like and see who can get their tushies whipped.
You could
Matt.
go against Zach.
That's where I was going with it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Matt, I'll tag team you with Zach then, all right? We'll be all right.
That'll be a handicap match, 2-on-1.
Yeah.
Hey.
No. You know what? If I went up against him, it would be a handicap match because he'd be handicapped when I'm done with him.
Yeah, considering the fact that you actually met him in person.
Paranormal MMA.
Oh.
Victor, let's get on. Victor, let's get on this, man. Come on, brother. Help me out.
That would be some fun. That would be fun.
Oh man,
Yeah.
now I'm getting ideas. Anyway, before I
We've gone into a totally different direction to what we were meant to be talking about.
when does that happen on this show? When do we even find the topic? Very few times in the show. If you actually watch a show to where we don't get off topic, I'm either really tired or I'm not there. I didn't touch that. Oh, it was you.
I have full access. Don't forget that.
You and Fedora always screw me up because I'm sitting here just doing whatever, and all of a sudden the comments pop in. I'm going, what did I touch?
This one, everybody has to pay $5 to punch that.
I would pay $500 for one round.
Well, by the end of it, if you have a big line of people, you'll have over $1,000.
I don't care. I called dibs first.
But that's what I'm saying. If you have each person pay $5, you'll end up with that
Well,
much
that's fine.
money anyway.
That's fine. It can go towards this hospital bill.
No, it's not going to him.
Got to give some
Round
back
three.
to me.
It's going
It's
to
going
me.
towards your extension for Mackenzie's studio.
Yeah.
I'm charging people to punch Zach in the face.
I'll give you money for that. I'll give you money for that.
Oh, it's Raymond.
What's up, Raymond? News from
Hi,
Paranormal. How you doing, brother? Anyway, guys. So, love watching you just having a laugh. I'm glad, Cheryl. And you know what? That's the thing. Before we get on topic, which, by the way, folks, there is a topic tonight. When we're gonna fucking get to it is beyond me. But but before we do, and that's I think why we do this. Why us as podcasters, hosts, whatever. This is why we do this. We do this to have fun, to relax, to kick back, and it's good to see some of these hosts having strict shows that have serious questions, to find out about your guests, find out their experiences. That's all fine, and that's great, but there's too much of it. Let's be honest. As a whole, I get tired of watching the same thing because you feel like you're watching the same podcast. Oh, the same questions over and over and over and over. That's why the Paraverse was created. Fuck it. We'll have some fun. Whatever happens, happens. And we'll have somewhat of a topic, kind of like Unholy Trinity and the Petri Dish. It's just a big old shit show. But Howard does a great job.
Never has a topic. Anytime I've ever been on there, it's never had a topic.
Well, it starts off with a topic, but that lasts about 2 minutes.
He's had guests, and we've stayed on topic for like
2 minutes.
maybe no.
I've timed it 2 minutes.
When he has a serious guest, it's like 15 to 20.
Yeah, we've hit that.
When it's a serious guest, but once that serious guest leaves, it's all.
I just like pushing buttons. It's just so much fun.
But to be fair, we're like this in the background as well. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
me and Matt have arranged calls to talk about stuff about shows and coming up, and then we ended up what, about an hour and 45 minutes. Didn't do anything but just mess around, and then we had a certain person call us going, "What have you achieved?" Absolutely nothing.
It was for Global Ghost Hunt, for the GGH Live. It was for the halftime show, I believe it was.
Yeah, and we
Yeah,
didn't do
that's
anything.
that's when Demon Potato came out. Thank you, Rocco, by the way, huge shout out. But no, that's when Demon Potato was started. We were supposed to be talking about the show and planning all this out and having this nice, agenda. 3 hours later, we're like, oh shit, we were supposed to do this.
It was, but we had a lot because Rocco got involved, and when Rocco got involved, it was like that was it. We were lost, and
we were lost
didn't
from the
achieve
time
any.
you and I came up on camera.
I know it is funny. It is it was a good crack, but that's what it's all about, though. Like you're saying, it's doing something different and having a laugh with it, and watching Mackenzie getting close to kicking your ass. That's quite an amusing watch.
Bit me. She already bit me.
No, you can see it in her face. Like she's looking over.
Wait a minute, there's two of you. I'm in trouble. Wait, there's the portal.
I think the paranormal boxing. I think this would be a good one.
Give me. No bites.
I was gonna say you're getting close to the danger zone.
Between Mackenzie and Matt, 100% Mackenzie.
I put my money on her.
That's like me saying to you guys, who would win between me and Sarah? I know already.
Oh, Sarah all the way.
Clean me right out. So
Sarah's got bigger balls than you. You'd be goner, mate.
Hey, I think she's got bigger balls than every one of us on this show. Not saying you got balls, Mackenzie, by the way. Sorry, I meant
she has mine. No, she has mine.
Well, there you go. But yeah.
That I'm gonna get hit for. I'm gonna get hit for.
Probably, like, I work with a lot of guys now at my job. I could probably beat up all of them.
Probably.
Minus the security guards. Some of them are
unsafe.
Some of them are beefy.
See, here's my downside. She starts swinging, I start giggling like a bitch.
Even if I just like hit him,
I start giggling.
He starts laughing. He laughs before I hit him.
Mm-hmm.
My hand comes up to hit him, and he just starts laughing.
Mm-hmm. Like earlier, we were saying backstage that she was kicking me upstairs. I'm sitting there blocking her, just giggling.
Mm-hmm.
Like just blocking every kick, so just giggling. Anyway. Oh fuck! Why are we here? We have a show to do, right, guys? We're supposed to one, I guess. I don't know. So, for those of you who don't know or weren't paying attention earlier, by the way, welcome. We actually are going to be talking about cryptids and urban legends tonight. So, Mackenzie, my wife, the Wicked Queen over here, is actually an amateur cryptozoologist. That is something she really loves and is really passionate about. She's obviously Wiccan on top of everything. And she knows a lot. She knows a lot more about cryptids than I do. I try to pride myself in a lot of the paranormal and a lot of other things. She kicks my ass literally and figuratively when it comes to the cryptid side of it. So we're going to have our expert here tonight. So let's start off. First of all, one of my favorite questions is, Nando, we'll start with you since you were supposed to be under the spotlight, under the investigation on Creepy Cult a couple weeks back. We'll start with you. What is your favorite cryptid, first of all?
If I'm honest, I don't think I can say that I've got a favorite cryptid because, for me, when I first started talking to you guys about it, I started reading into it. One, I didn't realize how many different kind of, stories there are. You hear about them. For me, I think one of the most common ones that you heard about was the Loch Ness Monster. you know, because over here it's on TV all the time. They got loads of different documentaries. Then they brought out the, you know, the documentary about the mermaids,
Yep.
you know. But then when I started looking into it more, you know, and I think Rob mentioned it as well, you know, things about the Jersey Devil, you got the Mothman, you got Bigfoot. I thought Bigfoot was just, and I'll be totally straight with you, I thought it was just like a cartoon thing, because I remember seeing like a cartoon about Bigfoot. Is it the Hendersons? Does anyone
Harry and
remember
the
that?
Hendersons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm on about. So, but then to find out there's an actual story, you know. So the one that I did follow was, you know, like Bigfoot. But then when I started watching videos on it and listening to people's documentaries, what the first thing I found with the actual video evidence, the videos are always very pixelated or very blurry. And sometimes when they say, "Oh, we've caught a sighting of Bigfoot," to me it just looks like a person in a big body jacket, like a big body
Yes.
suit, like walking up the street, you know. And I think I was saying to you earlier today, when I Rob, like, well, if they do exist, why haven't they uncovered the body? If they're, you know,
Yeah.
surely they must have died, but there's never been a recovery of a body. And then when you see footprints, how easy is it for someone to, like the paranormal, like people with evidence, you know, it's easily faked. But yeah, but Bigfoot was one that I was sort of, you know, looking into, but I just found that was, not saying it's not true, because I don't want Mackenzie to come over and kick my ass if I say anything, but it's just, you know, when you look at all the evidence, like we always do, you know, you're very all about the evidence and looking at every aspect of it. I just found that with a lot of the videos with Bigfoot, it was just hard to tell. That could have just been a human walking up the, you know, up the field or in the mountains and things like that. But that's my opinion on the Bigfoot anyway.
Nice. So I don't know if you've seen it. You probably have. B. I don't know, Rob or Nando, have you seen it? But apparently, there was a guy in I want to say the Midwest here in the United States, or it was southern Canada, somewhere. It was somewhere in the middle of North America. Actually, has a body of a Bigfoot. He showed the head. He showed the entire body. The head was decapitated, and he even showed a close up. And you know how they talk about eyes and pupils being glazed over post mortem. It had it. It looked like it had the depth. It had the amount of detail. If it was fake to me, that's one hell of an expensive fake, and that's very well detailed, because they were even shown the fibers. They, you know, the hair fibers on the body. They were showing like the hands or the feet and everything like that, like the pads. Everything was very detailed, which to me was very interesting. You know, that I thought, well, you know what, if this is legit, I mean, obviously there's going to be people out there who are going to be naysayers about it, but that's one hell of a fake.
Yeah.
One hell of a fake.
But then you got to be careful with the videos as well. Again, I'm not trying to say, I haven't seen the video, so I won't say too much. But how easy is it to get material to make it look like it's something when it isn't? Like when you're seeing it on a video, when you watch on the screen, you don't know how good these people are at, you know, building something to make it look like it was something. You know, you've had it with aliens over the years where they say they've got an alien, but then it wasn't an alien. They just put stuff together to make it look like it was. And you know, that's what I find with this sort of area of the field. You know, when it comes to video evidence, there's always something a bit, for me, is a bit like not right there. Like the video's not always great quality, or even with the close-ups, there's always something like there's a bit of static in the video where it sort of seems to be lapsing. And
but they're not
maybe it's just me, but
they're not going to show you cutting Bigfoot's head off, though, are they?
No, and you know, IG just said in the comments here, something like that. I would take full pictures for taking his head off. I'm not sure if the decapitation happened before or post mortem. I'm not sure. But all I know is the body, the video I saw, they had the body, and then the head was on another section, like by a table. And to me, it was just, if there's any proof of Bigfoot living or dead, even the footprints, you know, to me, you always see one print. You know, it's never a set. You know, very few times. And I know somebody recently. I wonder if I want to say it was in the GGH chat. Took some pictures or had some pictures of Bigfoot tracks, and to me, it's either way too far away, too grainy, like you were saying, Nando. There's always something. There's always something, but this video was just like perfect. There was no clipping. It was a solid video. It was very thorough. And I know the Wicked Queen and I, we know some people who are very talented at creating like anamorphic animals and designs and costumes and stuff like that. And they look legit real. Like it looked like they took the fur and the skin right off of an animal and just placed it right onto a suit, and seamless, very seamless. So I'm not saying the technology is not out there, but the amount of detail that went into this, if it is a fake, that's a damn good one. It's a damn good one. I'll have to send it to you guys after the show.
Yeah.
Rob, what about you, brother? What's your favorite cryptid?
So my favorite cryptid is the Jersey Devil, because I want to go to the Pine Barrens. So I
The,
really
the hockey team? I've been waiting.
I want to go camping.
I've had that one in my pocket for a while. So dad jokes, but anyway.
I want to go camping, so I quite like the Jersey Devil. I'd like to go out to the Pine Barrens and see if it exists. I'm going to take Nando with me.
Absolutely not.
Well, Nando has been used for bait before, so
exactly. It's like,
and it doesn't end well. No. What's it about the Jersey Devil that intrigues you about that? Because to me, well, no, I won't say what I think, but I'll let you talk. But what is it intrigues you about the Jersey
I think
Devil?
it's the fact that it's like they don't know what it is. The fact that it's like a bat, a bird, or it can walk on its hind legs. There's no full. Is she kicking you, Matt?
no.
Oh, it looked like she was kicking you from the...
Luckily, no. I will steal your socks. Luckily, I have a nice, solid desk somewhat between my legs and hers, and I'm using my chair kind of to block.
Oh, that's all right. Just the aggression on her face looked like she was giving you a kicking. That's all.
Give her time.
Yeah, I think that's it. The whole thing about flying through the trees and things like that intrigues me. And I've seen different stories on the Jersey Devil where there's claw marks on the trees and stuff like that. And then of course I watched the two Americans go out there and do their little bit, which ruined it for me. But then I watched a documentary on it, so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe it is true. Fine.
So Cheryl is asking, and Rob, if you feel confident on answering this, I'm
going to pass that to the Wicker Queen. She's more confident than me.
By all means, Umbry, go ahead.
So the Jersey Devil is basically, there's a urban legend that the Jersey Devil is around, and it's that a mortal woman had relations with a demon, and that made the Jersey Devil.
So it's a human demonic hybrid.
So we're not talking like the Antichrist, like Satan. We're just saying a random demon. Yeah, and that caused that.
That's it there.
See, when you're looking at the picture, for me, it looks like someone's put a neck of a giraffe, a face of a goat, and then they put the bat wings on there. That's what I see when I look at.
That's why it's called the Jersey Devil, because it's basically the spawn of a human and a demon.
Yeah.
There you go, Cheryl. Yeah. Hope that helped. Cheryl also asked, and this is a good one: why do humans have to kill things they don't understand?
Because we're humans.
Why do they have to kill things that they do understand? Let's be fair.
Pride, ego, and honestly, we as humans, and I know you'll my beautiful bride next to me, she'll understand this too. I don't know if you, Nando or Rob, if you guys have ever hunted before. So when you're out in the woods, especially early morning, it's still very dark out. Now, us as paranormal investigators, we love the dark, obviously. Especially Raymond. Raymond loves the dark. Flashlight. Anyway, I had to take my shot. I'm never gonna let him live that down. But anyway, when you're out hunting and you're by yourself, if you have a rifle, a bow, it doesn't matter. Your body is on high alert. Even a squirrel walking in front of you would set you off.
Especially in the woods, because he's seen me in the woods, and I'm already like a sensitive in general. So when I go out in the woods and it's dark, and I already have trouble seeing in the dark in general, because I have a really bad stigmatism. And with the type of stigmatism I have, it causes you to have a harder time seeing in the dark. So I already have problems with my eyes, and the stigmatism doesn't help me see in the dark any. So I'm already on super high alert, and he's seen me with a rifle, because he can't have rifles. That's a different thing. But he's come out with me hunting rifle season, and has seen me point a gun at a tree, and all it was a squirrel.
And you know, it's
freaked
different.
Me out.
It's different. Like when we're investigating the paranormal, like we go out to this one cemetery that has woods surrounding it.
That freaks me out.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful location. Spirits there are wonderful. We've built a rapport with them. Really nice individuals.
But there is foxes, and there are bears, and there's cougars, and all that.
Big Kitty Cemetery. We ran into a mountain lion.
We saw that mountain lion.
Ran into a mountain lion about 15 feet away from us.
Yeah, it was stalking us.
Yeah. So when you're out in the woods, your adrenaline gets the best of you, and it's a fight or flight moment. And at least here where we're at, we fight first, especially if we have a weapon. If we have a weapon, we fight.
Here where we live in central Pennsylvania, we have coyotes, we have fox, we have black bears, we have cougars, we have bobcats. We have things that will kill you if they come up to you, especially if it's a mama black bear and there's cubs somewhere.
Yeah, if you see baby bear.
Even if you don't see baby bear and you just see mama bear.
Oh, I'd rather see mama.
You might end up being mauled by a black bear.
I would rather see mama. Because if you see a baby somewhere, mama's not too far behind. If you can't see mama, there's a big problem.
Yeah, mama
we had that conversation.
Together, that's
bad. We had that conversation, didn't we, Matt, about the kind of nature that you have around you? And then Sarah sort of picked up the conversation because Matt was like, "Why don't you come over? It'll be great." And I'm like, "Yeah." And Matt's showing us everything, and then he started telling us about the wildlife, and then Sarah peers her head over like this, and she's like, "Really? Yeah, that's not going to happen."
Like, oh, there's bears. There's bears. There's this. There's that. I was like, no. I was like, we really don't see them. They're here, but
they're here. They don't come around. The most you might get, especially where we live, because we live in kind of like a little development, but it's near woods, is skunk and the occasional stray cat.
Stinky kitties.
And groundhogs, because my neighbor has a garden.
Yeah. So nothing. It's not like we can't go outside at night. It's when you start venturing out into like hunting areas.
Or like where one of my friends live. He's seen Temple.
Oh, yeah.
He's seen bears in his backyard, but his backyard has 2.5 acres of woods behind it.
Is someone playing music somewhere?
That was our washer?
That was our washer.
Oh, washer.
It makes music.
So washer just randomly plays music. Happy music.
It brings our washer and our dryer make music when they're done washing and drying our clothes. There's a little chime though to let you know they're done.
So,
that's cool.
All right, B, you're up, being the Wicked Queen and the cult leader of the Creepy Cult podcast. What's your favorite?
Werewolves.
That makes sense. So, which actually is really good.
Werewolves and hellhounds.
Puppies.
And the Wendigo.
Puppies.
I have 3. The Wendigo is not a puppy though.
It's a puppy.
The Wendigo is definitely not a puppy.
So why don't you explain? First of all, explain the Wendigo. Don't touch on the werewolf because I'm gonna lead up to that. Go ahead.
Don't talk about werewolf.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Do the hellhounds.
do the hellhounds.
Yeah.
So everybody who, including, because he's a minister, has, if you know in faith, especially
You're
Christian,
a minister.
I'm an ordained minister.
Yeah, he's an ordained minister. Did you not know that?
No,
No,
that's,
can you
yeah.
not tell by the surprise in my face when you just said that?
Yeah, no, he's an ordained
Yeah, my
minister.
dumbass is actually an ordained minister.
As much as I love Matt, would you put Matt minister together? And
No.
I love
now
you.
Now he's Minister Matt.
Well, you might want to be careful. I'll marry both of you
I'm up for that.
together.
Let's go.
I can't reach him, eh?
As you were saying, Mackenzie, sorry, go on.
There you go.
What's happened? Oh, dude.
Dios mío.
I'm just going to show my respect now. Oops.
A few Hail Marys.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
Now that anybody that doesn't know, because I changed his name to Minister Matt for a second before he changed it back, he is an ordained minister. Who married a witch?
She made the best preacher's wife.
Oh.
Why isn't your wife in church today?
We never see your wife. Where is she? Yeah, she's afraid to come in. She'll catch fire. She doesn't listen. I spray her with holy water. Just get down off the counter. Yeah.
But no. So
I'm gonna get hurt.
hellhounds are an interesting one because they show up in faith and in the Bible as the keeper of souls. So they drag damned souls to hell. So if you make a deal with the devil, guess what comes after you? A hellhound.
Oh.
The demons themselves don't come to collect you. They send dogs to do it for them.
It's a really weird game of fetch.
And most of the things that I've read online about hellhounds is they come after you when you're alive, and it's quite painful. They literally rip your body to shreds and then drag your soul away.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make it a very pleasant death.
Yeah. And I think we all know about the Wendigos. But for those who don't, Umbry, why don't you go ahead since you are the expert this evening? Why don't you talk about a Wendigo real quick?
So Wendigo is one of my favorites other than hellhounds, but Wendigo is like my top two.
We ran into one.
Yeah, we ran into one Wendigo once. Never again. And we only heard it.
It was close enough
which was good.
Well, no, we saw it was that black mass over at St. Mary's, remember? It was just on the edge of the tree line where we keep seeing the grim.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember it was a Wendigo the one time?
Yeah. I know, because I heard it. I told him at the cemetery that I kept hearing somebody say help from the woods. I was like, who's in the woods saying help me? I was like, because it's just me, you, and it was Audrey, wasn't it? Or was it my brother?
No, that was when you were still on Dum Dum's team.
So it was my brother.
Yeah, so it was.
But
yeah,
I kept
when I had
telling
my team.
everybody that I heard somebody kept saying, help me, I need help from the woods. And I was like, why would they need help?
Mm-hmm.
There's trails all through those woods. Like, I've walked them. They're walking trails.
And it's not like that.
Did somebody fall into like one of the holes or into the creek bed or like what? And this was at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, who's out here at 1 o'clock in the morning walking around besides us? No, it was a Wendigo.
Yeah, we heard the screech.
So for those of you that don't know, Wendigos don't have their own voice. They're basically mimics. So whatever they hear, they'll repeat. That's to lure their prey in.
Yeah.
So the fact that I kept hearing, help me, I need help, was something trying to lure me away from him and the rest of the group to get me alone, to drag me away, to try to eat.
Yeah, and
Wendigos are Native American folklore. They are basically like skinwalkers.
in a sense, they're a form. So So what they like to do is they prey after the weak and helpless. That is something they like to do. And like Mackenzie said,
or the innocent, or
you will
sensitive.
hear crying, you will hear something to break down that defense. And you will go to this thing and it will lure you basically to get you lost into a place where you can't find your way. And
It'll take you.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It
Yeah.
can mimic humans. It can mimic animal sounds.
cars.
Cars.
It can mimic anything. Think of it like a parrot, a demonic parrot. That is exactly what it does. And some people think that, and again, this is cryptids, guys. So obviously, the proof is limited at best. And it always happens when nothing's going on, when you're just whatever. But Wendigos are very popular as far as the topic is concerned. A lot of people have seen them, have heard them. It's usually around skinwalker territory. They kind of go hand in hand. But
or Indian burial ground.
Yeah, a lot of where there's a lot of Native American influences, and there's a bunch of theories about them. But anyway,
there's a Native American burial ground up by Geisinger.
It is. Yeah.
And some people have said they've seen a Wendigo up there.
Can I just ask you, Mackenzie? So your forte is dealing with all these like legends and myths and things like. Is there any stories that you've heard that you feel is not true, or do you believe in every one that you've heard about?
I don't believe in everyone. Some people have told me that dragons are real and they lived during the dinosaur times, and I'm like, I want to see a dragon skeleton dug up with dinosaurs.
I have a TikTok to show you that.
When I physically see a dragon skeleton in a museum, I will believe that dragons are real. Do I want to believe dragons are real? Yes, because it's a mythical creature and that would be cool.
Definitely.
But until I see a dragon skeleton, and I'm not talking a T-Rex skeleton and you put fake wings on it and call it a dragon. I want to see an actual dragon skeleton. Wings, claws, horns, all of it.
Yeah, and here's
or a unicorn horn. I want to see a unicorn horn too.
Me too. So hold on a second.
Apparently they grant you wishes. I want to find a unicorn horn. I can wish to be rich.
Okay, so let me help out.
Oh yeah, there's one.
Can I make this even bigger? Oh,
No.
I can zoom in here. I can't zoom in. So I'm trying to get a picture of a Wendigo. So basically a deer, a demonic deer-looking thing. I guess the best way to describe it.
If anybody watches, I don't think anybody else but me watches SCPs. But there's these stories and stuff that people come up with. They're called SCPs. They're actually long written files about certain things, and one of them is actually about a Wendigo. Somebody wrote a whole story about it.
There you go. So this is kind of the most accepted version of what a Wendigo looks like.
Yep, it looks like a deer.
So
would you think it looks similar to a Jersey Devil though as well, without the wings? Like it's sort of hunched over a little bit more. But
kind of.
Would you not think if it was stand up a bit more straight, take the horns off, you could just put the wings on, and then you got the Jersey Devil then?
Kind of.
Yeah,
kind of. And see, that's kind of classic for a lot of these cryptids, is that type of figure. I mean, even skinwalkers.
Yeah, a lot of times people draw them more menacingly. Which the one we saw, there wasn't actually a figure to it. It was just a black mask.
Winnebago.
And it was it was solid black though. Like you couldn't see moonlight through it. You couldn't see a flashlight through it. Nothing.
Well, if Raymond was there would be no flashlight, so that's kind of moot.
But I'm just saying, the night we saw it as well, there was a decent full moon.
Yeah, it was a pretty bright one.
You couldn't even see the moonlight shining on it. That's how solid this black mask was.
Yeah, and Anthony,
you would go and pet it, Raymond.
He would. But I agree with Anthony, and there's others. We can talk about that in a second. And Jenny, I saw your question, but we're going to hit on that next. So we're actually going to take, it's about that time, folks. We're going to take our quick commercial break for Global Ghost Hunt and obviously Beer Fest. So before we go, I just want to give a huge shout outs, as I always do when I do this before, so we can jump right back into it. Obviously, if you guys haven't already, go check out Parapost, parapost.net, Parapost Network Central, where you'll find this show, Creepy Cult, Shadow Podcast. There you go. I'll give you guys a shout out. And many, many others. Also, go check out Paralinks 1, 2, 3, and Plus, where you'll find this show. And again, many others. There's always something for everybody, honestly, on Parapost Network Central or any of the Paralinks. Guys, if you haven't already, you haven't heard about it, sign up for Global Ghost Hunt. Basically, a short version, worldwide celebration of teams and locations from all over the world. And it's a lot of fun. It's honestly a lot of fun. And it's great. You guys will not regret it. There's so much going on at Global Ghost Hunt. You just got to go check it out. Again, globalghosthunt.com, guys. So we'll be right back after these quick commercial breaks. Welcome back, everybody. She finally accomplished what she was trying to do. She actually, wait, why is everybody moved? We flipped.
We all moved.
We all moved. There we go. Now I feel better.
That's where
it makes me feel more comfortable now. The Wicked Queen finally got what she was trying to do earlier. So with the new computer, she got a new computer. So she had to plug her headphones in a new spot. So she was moving her headphone holder that's on her desk and her cup holder, which is on her desk. She was moving that around. But anyway, I forgot to mention, guys, and I'm so glad I didn't miss this. If you guys haven't heard yet, for now until October 1st, all proceeds on Paraconsultant Store, which is where Mackenzie and I have our merch. You can get the Happy Hauntings hoodie. You can get stuff for Creepy Cult. You can get I Have an Idea. Even some other ones. We have some other great ones on there, like Demon Potato, and a bunch of fun stuff. We got a bunch of fun things on there, including some cryptids as well. Just go to paraconsultantstore.com. All proceeds will be going to the Jessica Marie Petrie Foundation, all until October 1st. So please, guys, head on over, get your merch today. We just dropped a brand new merch line for none other than Mr. Fedora. We have our Fedorable merch out right now, guys. Go check it out, paraconsultantstore.com. So again, all proceeds are going to the Jessica Marie Petrie Foundation, guys. It's something that, in all honesty, Howard has done an amazing job with, and it's something I support completely. It's going for an amazing cause. So please, guys, head on over and check it out now and pick up something. The Wicked Queen and I just got, actually, we just ordered, I got you a Creepy Cult hoodie. She got the hoodie, and I also got a windbreaker that has a ghost dabbing that says, "I'm not normal, I'm paranormal." So
that's good. I like that.
You gotta get it, guys. You gotta get it. So
Raymond can't be in charge of the dark side.
Why?
Because he's gonna give everybody oatmeal raisin cookies disguised as chocolate chip.
This is why I don't trust Raymond.
I'm never taking cookies from him now because I hate oatmeal raisins.
Yeah,
so
I thought
if he ever gives me cookies, I'm gonna tell him to keep them.
I'll try them.
I hate oatmeal raisins. He can keep them.
Me being fatty, I would try them.
Give me Oreos or chocolate chip or nothing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So anyway,
I love
so,
peanut butter.
oh, same. So before the break, guys, we were talking about everyone's favorite cryptids. We were having some fun with it. But one that Mackenzie said, the Wicked Queen said, that I wanted her to hold up on was, of course, werewolves. And I saw Jenny Sullivan mentioned in the comments about fairies, and there was another one she mentioned. Let me scroll back up to it. Oh, where was the other one? I just saw it. You guys are doing an awesome job in the chat, so I have to scroll back up further. Fairies and banshees. So, as most of you guys know, werewolves, vampires, fairies, and I'm not talking like the vampires that we all know, Papa Czar from Voodoo Authentica, that Howard knows. We're talking like Interview with a Vampire type. You know what I mean? Count Dracula, Vlad the Impaler type stuff. So I want to ask you guys this. Do they fall into the category of cryptids, or are they considered the mythological? And is there a difference between the two?
Yeah, I would say, like, if you're looking at things like, if we're stepping into things like fairies and
puppy,
and you're going more. That looks a bit like Sarah when she's in a bad mood with me, more than anything.
You all heard it. It's recorded. Make sure she gets it.
I'm going to be, but no. To be honest, when you're looking at things like the vampire, and I think that's more mythical, like storyline that people. Well, that's my like fairies. Do you really believe that there's fairies like flying around? And Rob, you going to come in on this one before I say something? And I'm going to get shot.
I was waiting for it.
I'm talking, and no one else is talking. And I can see eyes looking at me, and I'm like, okay, someone else jump in.
Yeah, I think it's more story-wise than reality. I would just like to say hello to Side Eye Guy. He's another debunker that we follow at the patrol, and he's very good.
Welcome.
Yeah.
So, and Rob, about the fairies. So you don't really, you think they're more on the mythological side of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say that werewolves were cryptid. I just said I liked them.
I know. That's what I'm hitting on.
My show talks about more than just cryptids. It's mythological creatures, the occult.
This is why you're here.
Religion. Yeah, it talks about all that stuff.
I know. This is why we're here. This is why you're here.
I did a whole show with I can't remember his name right now.
I think there's a lot of shows where they try and show evidence of like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and all that, but you don't really get the shows that are like showing evidence of things like fairies and
Now, I will say,
maybe I'm wrong. But
are you pointing at me? Your arms are going that way.
He actually did.
Like
he actually
fairies.
did.
Yeah.
Well, I was just.
You are only a few 100 miles down the road, mister, all right? Just because I'm in Brighton and it's a gay capital. Don't start calling me a fairy.
Hey, whoa. Let's not go. I wasn't pointing at you as a.
Whoa.
I knew it was a bad idea to come on this show tonight.
Whoa.
Jesus,
I got your hole right here, Nando. I got you. That'll be right next to mine.
What did I say before the show to Rob earlier on? We were talking before we got on. I'm going to say something. And I honestly thought I was going to say something and piss off Mackenzie, but instead I've ended up pissing off. Yeah, I know. I see. That's it. But Shadow podcast is no more. Disbanding.
But no, like here's the thing. Like as far as fairies are concerned, like what you see, like we'll just say like a Tinkerbell type fairy. Like your stereotypical little people with wings. I have seen some footage. That may be faked, may not be faked. If it's CGI, it's real shitty CGI. You know what I mean? It's not to the quality. But I have seen some that's pretty good, but I've also seen Disney do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like to me, there is something, and these fairies are supposed to be on the smaller side. Obviously, they're not supposed to be, like Bigfoot size. Something like that's flying around. People might notice, but most of the times they're seen at night. So, to me, if these fairies do exist, they're nocturnal in nature. It makes sense. We've seen a lot. I know there was a couple YouTube videos on some paranormal investigators that ran into something that they weren't even looking for, fairies or anything cryptid or mythological. They were doing what we do. We look for the paranormal. And they ran into what they thought was a big moth. And they slowed the footage down and they saw this thing had legs, and not saying one solid abdomen, two separate things, and they caught it. So the chances are there. And I personally would say that a fairy would be a cryptid in that sense.
It's like my experience when I was like 13 or 14, me and Mike, Wes, and Tristan, when we thought we saw a werewolf.
Yeah. And see, this goes to the urban legend side. Werewolves. We've heard about them for centuries. And I think we even spoke about this, Rob, on The Conspiracy with Wild Bill.
We did.
Here's the thing. All these fairies, fae, like Raymond just said, whatever you want to call them, werewolves, vampires, silkies, there has to be some sort of truth. There has to be something that has happened, a catalyst to create these stories.
And Raymond's right. They're fine. They won't bother people as long as you don't piss them off.
Exactly. And for those of you who don't believe that there's some truth,
animal. You don't want to piss off a wild animal.
Not wrong. Or a wife, Nando. Had to.
Lately, I seem to annoy a lot of people, so I might as well just carry on with the theme. So,
apparently I piss people off all the time, so I just don't care.
So, let's not disappoint then. Let's just carry on with it.
The bad boys right here. We're the bad boys of the paranormal.
But with a lot of this, the other thing that I have found interesting when I've looked at, and again, I don't know 100%. I'm only going with what I've seen. A lot of the evidence that has been documented, it seems to be a lot of it is from the US, like American side, than it is to us here in the UK. Is that because of the kind of land that you guys are on? Is it the climate, the difference between of what we have here? Because the only thing that I could really find that was nearer to us was the Loch Ness. That was the only real one that I could really say that was closer to our side. But a lot of the Jersey Devil, the Hellhounds, it's all American-based stories. What?
Feel like a lot of it is from the Native Americans.
And you see, that's something else too. The Native Americans, their history, their ceremonies, their stuff, everything about them is still shrouded. Now, it's changed obviously over the generations because, let's be honest, everything has to. everything changes. Back in before America was discovered, they ruled this land. This was all theirs. Their whole territory. Who's to say that they weren't invoking this stuff? Because I mean, we as paranormal investigators say Ouija boards or any type of invoking or ceremony. They, we say that brings the spirits, that can invoke something, that can invite stuff in. What they're doing is a lot more complex and a lot more, let's just, for lack of better terms, hardcore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is like legit, no shit type of ceremony.
Each tribe had a shaman and a medicine woman.
Exactly.
Like
So,
they both did spells and rituals and stuff to make the people thrive. That was their job. That's what they were tasked with.
and it seems to me like, and I'm glad you said that, Nando, because a lot of these cryptids, the mythological side of the stuff, skinwalkers, wendigos, dogmen, Jersey, all this stuff revolves around Native Americans. It's all Native American folklore. Well, there has to be some sort of truth to it, in my opinion. Everything has to start somewhere. Like, let's look at one of the most famous, Dracula. Dracula was an actual person.
Vlad the Impaler.
Where did we get from this, let's just say a soldier, for lack of better terms, soldier, to king of vampire type things, the most infamous. It starts off with talk. It all started somewhere.
Well,
He built a reputation. He had that reputation. And then people started doing this, started talking.
I think that's what it is. You get an extension to, it's like a game of, what's it? Chinese whispers. Someone starts with a fact, but along the lines, the story is exaggerated and things change, and then it develops into something else and then before you know it, you've got a brand new story that's suddenly been pushed out there to the audience. And it's a bit like that with a lot of. So I do agree with you. There is an original story somewhere, but I think along the lines where so many people try and say different things, it just sort of exaggerates the story to what it is, like Dracula.
Yeah.
We all know where Vlad the Impaler is anyway. He's in a YouTuber's home in the UK. He has been for the last 2 years. Or Side-Eye Guy will say about that.
He needs to get his own, if Vlad's still around and he's doing that, he needs to get his own channel. Stop mooching off of people. You know what I mean? But
that's actually a funny story. We have a coworker of mine. His name is Sean. That's the new place I work. And he claims to be a descendant of Dracula. So he has the nickname Dracula. He's not actually a descendant.
Is he a bloodsucker, though?
No, he's just lazy and fat.
Oh, so like me. Anyway,
No.
Anyway, but I mean, here's something else to consider too. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be all, debunk, and all this and that. And glad you're okay. That one got me. Cheryl, seriously, awesome. That got
Cheryl
me. Love it.
and Lee obviously follow Beardo, Parpool, Side-Eye Guy, and they've all been. These guys have debunked this channel for the last 6 to 8 months. It's Vlad the Impaler's in his house.
Lee, I love Mrs. Bubble Wrap. I love that name. But anyway, I was going something, but Cheryl just threw my ass off, which I love it. Thank you, Cheryl. But like, even let's say with Bigfoot is very common, and let's just call it accepted cryptid.
Yeah.
It all starts somewhere, everything else. But even say a giant squid, the Kraken, some of our more aquatic ones, Loch Ness Monster, Nessie, the Meg, the Meg, and mermaids.
There is a Kraken. There is a giant squid.
I know, but what? Let me finish what I'm saying. Damn it, it's in the script. But there's no script. Fuck it, there's no script. And that wasn't obvious. But we only know so much about our planet. I mean, we know obviously a lot more on land than what we do that's out in the ocean, but even still, we don't know everything. We don't. There's still so much to be discovered. Like they're talking about Middle Earth, the ice wall down in Antarctica. Apparently there's a whole new another ecosystem underneath. There's so many different things that we just don't know about. So to me, I think a lot of these are actually cryptids. They're legit cryptids. The mythical side of it is the story side of it. That's maybe the unicorns flying. Maybe they don't fly. I don't feel they do. Like a Pegasus type thing. I don't think they fly. I think if there is such thing as a unicorn, it's just a horse with a big, thing on its head.
I don't know. I seen this one thing that somebody made on TikTok where they made unicorns look nice, and then if they did a CGI thing where when they approached them, they turned into man-eaters. I thought that was kind of cool.
And who knows, that might be true. But I'm just saying, we know very little. We know very little about our planet. So if that's the case, you take that plus the fact that everything starts with a little bit of truth.
Yeah. But if you look at what Bill says, it's true. We know more about space than what we do our own planet, really.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And I find that kind of interesting because, and again, it could go back to the conspiracy side of this. What are we being told?
Instead of NASA, we should have a Earth research facility.
Well, they do. Well, they have something like that, but
no, they don't get the budget like NASA does.
Oh God, no. Fuck no.
I think the problem is like us in the paranormal. None of us can actually, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to anyone, but none of us can actually say that we're expert in any part of these fields because there's so much stuff. Even you can go out and investigate loads of different locations. You can get the knowledge of all the equipment and how it's built, how it works, but you're never going to fully know the truth of the paranormal because there's so much, I think, that we still haven't uncovered. And you could be someone that's a year into the field or 10 years into the field. I just think, and it's the same with these stories, the mythical creatures, and we don't know. We're just speculating, really, aren't we? Like what we think, but like you keep saying, Matt, you just don't know what there has to be a truth somewhere because the story started somewhere.
Unless you've got a big American budget, you're not going to see a demon every 5 minutes.
No, exactly.
Well, depends if your shirt's on or off. But as far as see, the problem with the U.S. budget is we give it to everybody else but us. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing. But
we don't do politics here.
Which I wish I had my wallet on me. I wanted to show them that dollar bill. So I got a dollar bill the other day at work. On the back, it says "Fuck Joe Biden." It's just stamped right at the back, and I was like,
wow.
I need that. I traded it.
I thought you were going to tell me it had Zach Bagans in the middle, like we have the king. I thought you were going to say it had Zach Bagans on it or something.
If there was any cryptid bait that I would use, he'd be the last because his mouth wouldn't shut up. We would never catch anything. They would eat him just like a Meg. They would eat him just to shut him up. If they even get close enough. It's like a freaking banshee. Anyway, there we go. Off topic again. But in all honesty, though, I think there has to be a little bit more truth to it, like the werewolves and stuff like that. But there are some things out there that are just really, let's just say, should be better left for entertainment. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. But look at, say, aliens, UFOs. All of a sudden now we're all seeing them. People are seeing them. There's reports of them. The U.S. government's come out with them, stuff like that. I just think it's a matter of time. Before the SCPs and all that stuff.
Didn't they come out with that to distract us from something else they were doing?
They always do. And we were talking about that conspiracy too.
Somebody said that it was one of the conspiracy theorists I follow on TikTok was like everybody knew beforehand that there was aliens, obviously, because they announced that Area 51 was used to house top secret military installations for the U.S. Well, what is more top secret than alien technology?
Well, somebody also said too that Area 51 didn't house the extraterrestrials, or what did we call them, Rob? Oh, non-human biologics.
Yeah,
that's what it was. They didn't. Area 51 didn't have any of that. That was at another base. That was somewhere else. And Area 51 was just there to test the technology. It's a test facility.
But that's what I was saying. Like, it was there to store and test the technology. But when they came out and said, oh, Area 51's to house government secret projects, what's more secret than alien technology? Everybody knew aliens were here. When they came out and said, oh, yeah, aliens are real, everybody was like, okay.
Well, it's like the zombie apocalypse. Everybody knows zombies are real. Just go to any college town.
Campus.
Yeah, go to any college campus. All those kids anymore are walking around just drooling on
It's another topic. Like, again, you know, when you go further into it, you know, you're listening to other shows that they say there's different species of aliens. They got different, you know, reasons to come to our atmosphere in a way, you know. That then you've got people like with UFOs, for example. One of the things, I don't know how true this is, but you guys might think different. But I was watching a TV show and there was a guy, he was claiming that he could send telepathic messages to the UFOs and then suddenly they would appear to him. You know, and it's things like, you know, there is truth, but I think people take that truth and then they try and turn it into something not so. Can we really communicate like that with
I believe that some people can. I believe some people possibly could. I mean, look at our brother Reggie. Reggie has a show with Greg Koss. You know, Reginald's great. I love Reggie. He has that gift and ability to telepathically connect with spirits, and he's claiming other things. Who am I to say he doesn't? Who, you know, I don't have proof either way, but obviously he knows something that I don't. I mean, let's be honest, and we said this before. We don't know. We really don't know what that truth really is. We're just looking for it. There are no experts, and this is why I love art field. Art field, cryptozoology, all of it. It's all theory. It is completely theory until, and I think we've said it earlier, until we get bodies, physical evidence, you know, something, and we even said it on one of the conspiracy shows, and unless we have like a live sit down with one of these cryptids in a cage or aquarium, whatever, and you can see 100%, you'll get the most acceptance out of it, but it's not going to become a commonplace. And I think what white-tailed deer, that's the example I used a while back. You guys over in the UK, you don't have white-tailed deer. Here we hunt them. They're everywhere. We hit them with our cars. We go hunting for them. You know what I mean? Like,
we don't hit them with our cars. They hit themselves with our cars.
Now there are some people who aim.
Aim. They hit themselves.
Yeah, but anyway, we get them all the time. Now, to you guys, that could be a cryptid because you don't have them. You don't see them.
We don't have them.
But we have them here. It's common. Until these cryptids become like that, it's tough. It's tough to say. But again, it all comes back to some things start up as truth. There has to be something there. So as far as the realm of possibility, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that's what it is. Until you've experienced it yourself, we can only.
I saw the light starting to flicker down there, Nando. You were just like, yeah. I saw the starting there.
What light flicker? My light.
Oh, don't start off, Matty. Start freaking out again. Don't.
We have a problem. Every time I seem to be on the phone with the guy next to me, something seems to happen. Like tonight, I kid you not, a massive house spider just appeared out of nowhere as soon as I started calling him. He's something dodgy.
See, the
about
wicked
the
queen.
dog.
The wicked queen would have burnt the house down at that point.
Oh, yeah,
She
I
doesn't
called
like
Sarah
spiders.
down. I was like, no, I called Sarah down to deal with it. I ain't too big for me to deal with. But yeah, I just think with a lot of stories, until we experience it for ourselves, it's hard to believe every story. That's the way I sort of look at things. But yeah, things
Yeah.
that make you go,
But anyway, we could probably keep going with this. But to be honest, I mean, we've covered a lot tonight. We covered a lot. But the fact is just like with the paranormal, it's all theory. Everything is theory until we actually we get it. Who knows? Maybe non-human biologics, aliens, UFOs, the technology. Maybe now's the time we're gonna know about it. We're gonna find out, hey, the men in black, they are real. This is what they do. This is what's going on. We do have aliens living among us. We've been doing it for years. This is what's going on. Who knows? Maybe Bigfoot's next. Maybe Bigfoot was like what Mackenzie was talking about earlier, an SCP. It's a science experiment. Maybe he's an alien. Maybe he's from
It's
Middle
an
Earth.
alien science experiment, and I'm saying this because I wanted to say this earlier when Nana was saying about the pixelations. It's because I think a lot of times we can't get a clear picture of him because he's jumping from dimensions.
And that's possible.
that's fair, dude. Yeah.
That's very possible.
And that's also why a lot of times when you find a footprint, it's only one footprint.
That it's a big, giant, fuzzy pogo ape.
No, I'm saying though that could be why as well. Why a lot of times you only find one footprint is because he's passing through dimensions.
No, it's because he's big foot, not big feet. He's got one and he bounces through the forest.
I know you're trying to make it funny, but I'm being serious.
Well, round 5 coming in very quickly.
I'm just saying. I'm like super passionate about this stuff, and I take this stuff seriously.
There's a good one. Maybe Bigfoot is Chewbacca. Maybe. It's just a giant Ewok. That's it. I've solved it.
Wait, Chewbacca's not an Ewok? He's a
I know,
Wookiee.
that's why it's funny.
I was about to
Because
say
the
the Wookiee.
That went over both of your heads. I'm
It
trying
could
to
just
piss
be
off the
Matt
Star
in
Wars.
his furry outfit.
It might be. We've never been.
No, he
we
has
never.
a morph suit. He looks like Slender Man, but not so slender.
There you go.
But not so slender. There
That's
we
a
go.
big ass shadow figure.
He does. He looks like Slender Man. And when we used to play Find the Founder, I accidentally stepped on him.
She did. I'm a big ass black mass.
We used to go to that cemetery
Same
that
yours.
we used to go ghost hunting in, and he, as a team bonding exercise, would play Find the Founder. So he would put on this big black morph suit and go hide in the woods. And we'd have to go and find him. We'd all have to like turn our backs, and he would count, and then he would blow a whistle when he hid well enough. And the one time I was walking through and I went to step over what I thought was a log, and I tripped and I ended up stepping on his face.
But I didn't break character.
Didn't break character.
I kept my mouth shut.
I almost broke his nose.
Mm-hmm. And she kept walking too.
Yeah, I kept walking.
She went fucking branch and just kept walking. It wasn't until I started laughing that they realized it was me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But
Oh.
but anyway, no, it just like in the paranormal, folks, these cryptids, the urban legends, the mythological creatures, again, to me, it all stems back from at least some sort of truth. There has to be.
Definitely.
I mean, it may not be to the extent that we know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe a werewolf is just a big dog. Maybe there's just, back in the day, it just was a huge dog that an owner, because let's be honest, there are some big ass dogs.
No, the what is it? The Ice Age direwolves.
Yeah, dire wolves actually
Dire
didn't die out that, in a sense, that long ago.
Are huge.
Maybe one was domesticated and somebody saw a guy, like a farmer, standing next to his house, turned away, looked back, and there's a dire wolf standing there. Maybe a domesticated dire wolf where the guy was standing. He just walked away. That maybe started that whole thing. You never know. You just never know. But again, it's fun. It's fun, and in my opinion, the paranormal and cryptozoology and these mythological creatures, they're all hand in hand. Now, the only difference is how we investigate them. Although I don't know how the UFO guys do it, because me standing outside going for hours on end would hurt my neck. I don't get it. I just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But anyway.
Hold on, I found a picture.
What are we doing?
Wolves.
Oh, you found a picture of a dire wolf?
Yeah.
Hold on, we found a picture of a dire wolf. Big puppies.
This one's a little better. What is this?
Well,
they would kind of be that size.
Yeah.
Just a little bit
Okay.
bigger.
Okay. I'll give you that one.
So this is what is it? A gray wolf?
Yeah. It's a timber wolf.
No, giant wolf dog. The wolf
So
dog.
what about skinwalkers then?
What a skinwalkers?
Yeah. What do we think of them?
Go ahead. B, you're the. You love skinwalkers.
Skinwalker?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is.
She's distracted by the big puppies.
No, I'm trying to find a good picture. This is a wolf dog, it says. But it looks.
Go ahead.
Hold on, let me stop.
I'll find one. You go ahead. He wants to talk about skinwalkers. That's your forte.
On Facebook.
Go ahead.
So skinwalkers is they're Native American too, but supposedly skinwalkers are shamans who have done a lot of black and dark magic, and they're cursed, I guess, or they've done a taboo. They've done a taboo that they're not supposed to do, like cannibalism or something along that lines, and it's turned them into a skinwalker.
Okay.
Okay, so there we go. That's close enough. It's close to what we're gonna get. So this is as close as we're gonna be able to get of what a dire wolf is. So basically, a gray wolf or a timber wolf, just 3 times the size. I know here you can't really tell the size comparison, but they're saying about the hindquarters being almost 8 feet tall.
So if they were to stand on their hind legs, they'd be bigger than a human.
Oh yeah. So that's a dire wolf. So Bill's saying about shapeshifters, skinwalkers, and that's what they are.
Yeah. They can change into anything. Animals, people.
Mhm.
A lot of times, though, they turn into animals. I think it's just a Native American thing that they feel more connected with animals. So it makes the change easier.
Shapeshifters that. Oh, wait. There you go. So, skinwalkers are like what Bill's saying. They shapeshift. They shapeshift. Think of. I'm trying to think of the layman's terms of describing this. Let's just say a spirit or a physical being or a demonic, whatever you want to call them, that shapeshift into certain things to lure their prey.
But from the stuff I've read about it, and I'm not saying Bill's wrong, and I don't take that kind of criticism well, but we're not going over that. But no, I'm not talking about a Wendigo, and I know the difference. But from what I've read and what I've watched, like documentaries on skinwalkers, it's when somebody does a taboo that they're not supposed to. Like I said, cannibalism.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to eat a human. That's not normal. Huh?
Nothing.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said since when? No, Bill, we're giving layman's versions of it.
Yeah.
If you guys want to know more about any of these cryptids,
Look them up.
yeah, if you want to learn more about the cryptids, the mythological, seriously, look them up, guys. That's where we find all this stuff.
There's loads of information about that you
I
just
don't-
put in the
I don't
name.
I don't
Yeah.
go in detail because I don't want to get a lot of the information wrong. So in layman's terms, it's a shapeshifter who is Native American,
Easiest way.
who has done a taboo to turn them into
Yeah.
a shapeshifter.
And again, even that is theory on where they come from.
Yeah, that's just something that I've seen in like documentaries and what I found online.
So,
Which a lot of times you can't trust what's online. But
No.
when it keeps coming up in different articles, it's something that is like, okay, this might be a little true as to one way somebody could turn into a skinwalker.
yeah. And again, folks, it all comes back to truth. It all comes back to what you want to believe, because one website may say one thing, one may say another. It just depends. It really just depends on what you read and where your sources are. So,
Definitely.
but all right. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. We've already been here an hour and a half already.
Yeah.
Already.
That was fun. That was
Already.
fun.
Peopling.
You're done peopling? Okay. All right. So before we go, guys, as we always like to do, where can everybody find you guys at? So we'll go with you first this time, Wicca Queen. Where can people find you?
YouTube's hard to find me though, so Facebook.
No, YouTube's just Creepy Cult. Creepy Cult on YouTube.
Yeah, when people type that in, a lot of other things show up.
Not fair.
So if you just would post the link, that'd probably be easier.
I'll have to get the link. Hold on. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, Facebook. I have 2 Facebook pages. One I don't use anymore. Those the old one. And now I have the Creepy Cult Facebook, and also on Paralinks and Brian's page.
Parapost Network
Parapost
Central.
Network. I couldn't think of the name for a second, and he's gonna hate me for that.
He's not gonna be happy bunny when he hears this bit.
No, I went blank for a second. I'm sorry, eh? I'm sorry.
Eh?
I'm sorry, eh?
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I love Brian.
And also I use Matt's Facebook and YouTube sometimes. The Paraverse one. Not the Paraverse.
Paranormal
one,
Consultant.
The Paranormal Consultant one.
Yep. All right. Rob, you're up, brother. And that is the link, by the way, folks, to the YouTube channel for Creepy Cult Podcast. Please
It's
subscribe.
hard. It's literally hard to find. Emmy looked it up and said that she couldn't find it. So apparently YouTube's algorithm doesn't like my page.
Cool. Shadow podcast with him to my left
With him.
on
With him.
Monday nights, 9:00 our time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We got some good guests coming up this week. We've got Heather Matteson. Hopefully we can get through a whole show without it crashing on us like it did when we had her on a few weeks ago. And then, the Patrol Paranormal on YouTube. So, and obviously Facebook.
Awesome. Nando.
Well, everything for us is under Portal to the Paranormal. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube. We have a TikTok page as well. And if anyone fancies dropping in tomorrow evening, we're doing a show based on the story of Pennyfold Farm. It was something that was documented here in the UK about a family that claims that they had something very, was it like demonic, you would say, or something very scary going on in their house. And we've watched it, and we're just going to have a chat and see what people's thinking is about that. So that's on tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK. So what's that? 5? Is it? No, 4 your time?
It depends on if you're using Google or not.
No, it's
I'm not
full.
going to ask Matt. Well, I'm not going to ask Matt to use his Google because we had an hour chat about just the time. So we're not even going to start that one. What time will it be over there, Rob or Mackenzie?
4.
It'll be 4. Okay, that's all right.
I
So
would
yeah,
say,
so if anyone wants to drop in,
people try and watch it on BBC iPlayer before Nando's show, before the Portal show, because you'll know a lot more. There's only 4 short episodes to it, but it is very interesting, and the ending is very like, it
Weird.
threw it all up in the air for me. I was like, oh shit, now I don't know. I'm confused now. So
I think we were having a bit of a debate about it when we messaged each other. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because we're going to be talking about like the stuff that they claimed as, you know, I'll just give you a brief. They're saying on a wall they had messages just appear, like the crucifix, like Welsh words just appeared, but they're not a Welsh family. But then there's certain parts of the story that you could say, well, could it be a host by the family? So that's what we're going to be delving into tomorrow. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah,
cool. I'll definitely have to watch.
And I forgot as well. We also stream on Parapost Network Central as well, and International and Paralinks Plus. So you know, depending on where you're watching from, you can find us there.
Remembered the name, Nando. I went blank on the name entirely. I just said Brian's thing.
Brian's thing. I go on Brian.
At least I got the name, so that's better for me,
And for anybody who is new, my name is Matt, and I am the Paranormal Consultant. You can catch me on Facebook, YouTube, all over the place. And this is the Paraverse Podcast. You can catch it on YouTube or Facebook. So it's very simple. Jonathan Myers, my brother, what is up from Crossover Paranormal Society? Actually, check out Jonathan as well. Jonathan has a show. He usually does one real early in the morning here. About mid-morning for you guys, about 10 a.m. he goes live. But no, go check out Jonathan and what he's got going on as well. So, all right. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I want to thank, obviously, Rob, Nando, and the beautiful Wicked Queen.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to get hurt.
Thank you. She's coming for you.
What's that? Oh, thank God you didn't stab me with that. But anyway, it's been great, guys. Thank you so much for all your love and support. We'll catch y'all next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another Paraverse Podcast. So I guess there's only one more thing left for me to say. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. And as always, guys, happy hauntings.